All right, now Miss Aurorah is back. Secured Entrepreneurs, happy 2025. I really hope that all of you have had a beautiful and safe holiday season. You know, we're in a new world. We are currently in MAGA world. How do you feel about that? We're in MAGA world, okay? And we're going to get into, Mr. Roy is going to get into some things today as it relates to the Republican administration and how it's going to favor entrepreneurship, okay? But in this video, I really want to know what the secured entrepreneurs have to say about Mark Zuckerberg's recent speech about where Meta is going, where Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, where those platforms are going. I have seen a plethora of people jump on Facebook, jump on Instagram and say they are no longer going to participate with Facebook. They are no longer going to participate with Instagram. They are no longer going to participate with Threads because they do not know what is about to happen due to the changes that Meta is making. They feel like this is a dangerous move. I want to get into this speech and talk about what I think we're really going to see now that we are in MAGA world. All right. So for those of you who do not know who I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you build 6- and 7-figure tax-free businesses. You heard that right. Stick around because we know that this is the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. Okay, Secured Entrepreneurs, here's Mark, and he starts off, "Hi, everyone."
I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice.
I just want to say one thing. I'm kind of loving the hair. Okay, I'm kind of loving the hair. I think that this hair is much better than when he wears it close, okay? And I'm seeing his gold chain and the t-shirt, kind of like he must have been listening to some Run DMC before he started this, because he definitely got the G-swag going. Okay, all right, go Mark.
I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
I don't think there's too many mistakes and too much censorship when I have people coming into my instant message box on Instagram inviting me to some nakedness. Okay, many of you have seen a lot of this stuff. You probably have received it, okay? And when I report it, they're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what Meta tells me. So as far as I'm concerned, the things that should be censored have not ever been censored. Let's go on.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
Restoring free expression. Now, this is the reason why there's a whole lot of people who are saying they're done with Meta, because they already know that when you give people the opportunity to freely express themselves, you're going to be bombarded with a lot of negative communication. That's what I'll say. Negative communication that will be aimed at certain ethnic groups, certain genders, things like that is what potentially we may be facing as these changes come about. And this is the concern that many people actually have. What say you, secured entrepreneurs? Comment below.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X.
Somebody tell Miss Aurorah what community notes are, because I am not a participant in X. I did have someone start a Twitter account for me years ago. I used it for a little while when they had I think Periscope was on there, and I used to enjoy watching people on Periscope and things like that. But I don't know what the community notes are. Somebody comment below, let Miss Aurorah know.
Starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
Misinformation. And we do know that President-elect Donald Trump is the king of pointing out fake news. Okay?
We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are...
They're getting rid of restrictions on topics such as immigration and gender. Now, those are the two topics that are the hottest for hotheads, okay? For individuals who have a problem with the immigration as they see it and gender as they see it, growing up in religions that are totally against what the United States is allowing to take place with people, especially minors, relating to gender. So we're going to have to watch out for that.
They're just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on...
Okay, he wants to make sure that people can share their beliefs and their experiences on the Meta platform. So that's another, red button for people, because when you get people sharing their beliefs, you know that there's going to be a lot of negative communication going on, because people hide behind social media platforms. People hide behind, either no picture, a phony picture, okay? And now that there's not going to be any restraint, there's not going to be a restraint on these people expressing their beliefs and their experiences on the platforms. You can go ahead and report it all you want to. It may not be a violation, because Mark goes on to get into that.
Our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Okay, once again, I've reported the little SEX stuff going on, the PORN stuff going on my Instagram. Okay, I've reported all of that. It's still happening. I have to keep blocking. And I got a reply back from Facebook when it happened to me on Facebook one time, saying I must be mistaken. So you telling me I want these people to send me this stuff? I don't know about that, Mark.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts.
We're going to catch less bad stuff. Whoa. You gotta, Mark's the guy. Okay. We're going to catch less bad stuff. Be ready. This is partially a PJ production. I wasn't going to say anything, but the secured entrepreneur is already there. Okay.
That we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed.
Secured entrepreneurs, do you want to see more political news? Yeah, yes or no? Tell me in the comments. Do you want to see more political news?
So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression.
Now, I wasn't at all surprised by this because how many companies have left California for a variety of reasons, the main one being tax, okay? And he talks about why it is that these people are going to Texas.
I think that will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams.
So Texas has less concern about the bias of their teams. Okay.
Finally, we're going to work with President Trump.
Oh, see, people who don't support Trump did not like this.
To push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down.
A newsflash, that's also in the United States. That's also in the United States. Let us not be fooled. But okay, Mark, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
China has censored our apps from even working in the country.
Well, we know why they did that.
The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove.
There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work hard, very hard to remove. Like the PORN stuff that keeps being sent to my instant messenger. How about that? OMG.
But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
He's looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out here. More to come soon. Okay, secured entrepreneurs. How do you feel about Meta? Will you be staying on Meta for your business? What are you going to do? All right, now, secured entrepreneurs, there it was. I know that a main concern is how the changes are going to affect your marketing on Meta. We know that many of us do paid ads with Meta, and we know that when we post something on our business page, they will let the post stay there and we can share the post all day long. But when you go to make that post an ad, they deny you on the ad because the verbiage does not meet their policies. Now Mark is here saying they're about to, censor less bad stuff. Okay, so maybe the stuff that we were putting they thought was bad is good now. What say you, secured entrepreneurs? What are your thoughts on you staying on the platform relating to your business? Because we all know that there are going to be people saying all kind of stuff now. There's going to be a whole lot of things that may fly that was not able to fly before, that was not going to be up there before or would have been censored before. Now he's saying they're going to stop that type of censorship. What are your thoughts on now how you're going to do your business on Meta as it relates to the risks that you may have wanted to take in the past that Meta was not going to allow. Maybe you are going to take those risks now in 2025. Let Miss Aurorah know. Comment down below. In any event, I'm going to come back with another video as it relates to the new Republican administration and how we're being favored as entrepreneurs. Hey, listen, the Republicans love us, all right? That's why you have to go from sole proprietor to CEO. The next sole proprietor to CEO group session is January the 30th, okay? The links are down below in the description box. Go watch the complimentary training so you can find out how you're going to go from sole proprietor to CEO, how you're going to get your anonymous LLCs, how you're going to get your private irrevocable trust so that you can get in on all of the favor that is here in this administration. All right, so you all know you can find me, Miss Aurorah Dey, at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time, ta-ta.